You know, life is different today than it was when I was growing up, and today you're either rich or poor. For that reason, I would recommend young people today to think about starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur, rather than working for someone else. I don't want to discourage working for someone else. You should experience that just to know how it feels to work for a living. But if you have an idea for an invention, product, or a service, I would definitely say pursue that because that's going to bring in much more money for you in the long run. Now, along with that goes intellectual property. The main things on a successful business, I think, understanding the customer, to really understand their wants and needs and motivation. Uh, it's kind of going along with the market is the same as, but understanding the customer is even better than understanding the market. Because if you really understand the customer, you might see a whole new market that's not even out there. Then it's efficiency, just delivering what they want and need at the fastest and least cost to you. The company that does that is going to win. And then a third thing is a sustainable competitive advantage, something so that no one else can move in on your business and duplicate what you're doing. So part of that is copyrights, patents, and trademarks, also known collectively as intellectual property protection, IPP. Copyright is more for like a book or a song, a photograph. A patent is, there's two types of patents. There's a design patent or a utility patent. A utility patent protects the way something works. A design patent protects the way something looks. And then there's trademarks, which you would use for your brand name. So today about trademarks, trademarks are very simple, very cheap. It's a couple $100, maybe $225, $275, I think. There are when you trademark something, you have to trademark it in association with a class of goods, so that you're the only person that can use this brand name for surfboards or for toilet paper or for bowling balls. You can't just trademark a name across the board for everything. You associate it with a class of goods, and there's going to be a link and information on the website you want to go to is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, uspto.gov, uspto.gov. That's for all your IPP, and they have great information on there. And including probably a link to the different classes of goods, so you have to look it up and see and see what a class of goods that you want to associate with your particular trademark. Then there's really only two other things involved with that. There's a waiting period where they search to make sure no one else is using that name, and there's a waiting period to make sure no one else wants to claim that that name is too close to a name that they're using and challenge your right to have a trademark on that name. And then the only other thing you have to do is to prove that you're using that name. You can file your application before you're actually using that name in commerce, but before you get your final approval to have that trademark, you have to prove that you're buying and that you're selling products using that name. So that can be very simple. If it's a clothing item, you could just take a picture of the label. And there's a couple of other easy ways to establish that you're actually using that name in actual commerce, actual buying and selling of goods. And that's about it.